Hi, this is Yogi Paulo here. I'd like to welcome you to this video, and today I'm going to talk about the 8 major levels of consciousness. I'm just going to explain the difference between each major level of consciousness that exists within us, and not necessarily that we experience them all, but I'm suggesting that they exist, and if one works to realize these different states, then you can know them because they are there within us already. What are these states? Some of them you'll be familiar with already, like obviously the waking state, the normal, conscious, aware state that we have and feel a sense of our individual personal identity, and that we operate through or with during every day. So you could call that the conscious mind, and you can call that the waking state. What else do we have? Well, we all know when we go to bed at night, we drift off into other states. The first being dream state. You don't always remember dreams, but they certainly exist. In a dream state, you're really dealing with unresolved situations in your life, and also your body's repairing. But on a kind of like mental level, you're primarily dealing with your fears and resolving problems which may be in your life. In the waking state, there is something you don't quite sort of be able to sort out. There's a problem there. And in a dream state, you're able to create a scenario where things can be made better, or else you express your fears. And also your desires, can I just add as well. Your desires come out during the dream state. So what else do we have? So we've got the waking state, and we have the dream state. The next state that exists, that we know of, is also deep sleep. Now, when I say when we know we go into deep sleep. But in saying that, you're not consciously aware when you're in deep sleep. That's the whole point. It's a kind of feeling of oblivion. So those are the 3 states that most people are aware of, and that's fine. That's normal. We all experience them. But the question would be, what else exists within us that is relevant and important to our existence, and would, in this context, represent a more evolved, deeper understanding of what we actually are spiritually. So the next state we've got, and this is experienced either, in my own experience, either through meditation or else being with someone who is quite elevated. And this you could call transcendent consciousness. An awareness of a level within which is just completely free, limitless, boundless, and is at the very core of us as human beings. And the transcendence is basically an awareness of your own essential divine identity. And when you meditate, if you have an effective meditation practice, or you're in the company of a spiritually elevated soul, you have the possibility of accessing the transcendent. And I have had, in both situations, I've known people who are enlightened and spent time with them, and definitely had quite a profound effect on my consciousness. And I was able to go into transcendent states as a result. It happened, rather than I was able to go into them. It actually happened that I actually went into those kind of states quite automatically as a result of being with them. The other thing was, which I practice every day, was meditate. When you meditate, meditation is primarily a purification practice. It works to release blockages from within your system, and that allows you access to the transcendent reality within yourself, this fourth state of consciousness, this transcendent state. And regular practice, when you clear certain blocks out, a good practice will allow you to go into that level within. Now the thing about the transcendent experience, it is an experience until it's permanent. And experiences are, they're good to have because they're like little milestones on the path to full enlightenment, but they are temporary. We're talking about a temporary experience which comes and goes. You go into it, then you come back out of it. The goal and aim is over a period of time, which is usually over years, although not a very long time, but over years, you're able to sustain that transcendent condition all the time. It becomes something that is present no matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter what you're thinking or where you're going, where you happen to be. There's a sense of presence as consciousness, the transcendent, is infused into your experience. That's the only way I can put it simply. It's a sense that you're always present no matter where you go. Awareness is there. And so, as I say, you can be washing the dishes, or you could go for a nice walk, you could be on a beach, you could be in a pleasant situation, and you'd still be present and there. And with it, there is a great sense of freedom, great sense of limitlessness, while still embodied and still with your personality that's engaged in normal living, normal things that you have to do around you. And so those things are still there, but you have this now freedom. It doesn't just happen during meditation, but it's actually present through your everyday activities. What have we next? The next state or stage is a state where, in the previous one, you will feel aware and present when the transcendent is there all the time. In the next stage, it deepens, and it's not as if you go anywhere, it's just that awareness within you becomes more prominent. And what it does in the next stage, in a state where you start to perceive the divine around you, is that there is a deeper awareness of everything in a way that you didn't have before. It's like you can see the divine in all the things which are going on around you, irrespective of the circumstances or the situation. It's like there's a connectedness between you and your environment, and there is a opening of the heart. There is a connectedness to the world. the world is no longer just a place out there, but it actually feels like it's a part of you. And it's based on awareness, not emotions. It's based on how conscious you are. Your consciousness now is raised higher than it was previously. And this is very profound, and it gives one a sense of communion, feeling of belonging. But there's still the experience of duality. There is still you and there's still the world. Even though you feel an empathy for it. It's not the same as being, it's not the same as what lies ahead. And we're talking about another state that exists on top of what we've just discussed, and that one we would say what occurs is a shift from duality to a place where there is union. So what you perceive outside is not just beautiful and uplifting and that you feel connected to it, but you realize that what you see is also you. What you're perceiving is actually yourself. And in this next state of consciousness, this higher level, you could say it's the highest almost. In terms of living every day, it is the highest that you can experience in our normal everyday life. Just get back to what I was saying. There's a sense that it's no longer you and the world or the universe, but you and the universe fuse as one reality. This is what is often referred to as oneness, or a sense of unity, or a very deep connectedness. But everything you see is you. There's only one reality everywhere, and it is this transcendent, conscious presence in everything. But that presence is also you. It's no longer just a nice world out there. And the last state that you can flip into from this complete unity is total transcendence. I know of people who have gone into this level, and in a state of total transcendence, you are no longer conscious of the world or yourself as a person anymore. There is a complete absorption in pure absolute consciousness. And the people I've known who have gone into this condition, it lasts for a period of say several hours, and then they've come back into the body, or back present, awake, and it feels like they've been away to some other place a long way away because they weren't present anymore. But there is a very profound state of beingness, of presence, of depth and connectedness when they've come back. So that's it really. I've kind of outlined 8 major states of consciousness that exist within us as I understand it. And I just hope that the information you find valuable and will increase your understanding of spiritual states of consciousness. Thank you very much.